Lock are speedy veterans Sammy Watkins and rookie Rashad Bateman. Watkins feels he's poised to have one of his best years ever, with Lamar wheeling and dealing. LeVar Arrington, will Lamar Jackson take the next step in the passing game this year?
You'd have to assume so. A lot of the woes and a lot of the weight that has fallen on the shoulders of Lamar Jackson is to compensate for a lack of maybe weapons and experience in that receiver's position. Bringing in Sammy Watkins, you bring in a proven guy, very knowledgeable, ton of experience, understands the dimensions of the field, understands route running, understands where to be and how to be there, getting open. That is a pure bonus. He's aging, has dealt with some injuries, but still will be a very, very valuable addition to this team. You already have Hollywood Brown and Marquise, and he's a big play guy. He can take the top off of a defense. So you love to have a guy that has the ability to give you downfield big plays. But then you were missing that one guy, the dog, like the guy that you can get him the ball in the slot, you can get him the ball on the outside, you can get him mid-range windows, you can get him in deep windows. He can make plays for you, and that's Rashad Bateman. They brought him in on this year's draft. I studied him extensively, watched him dismantle my Penn State Nittany Lions a few times. The kid is probably one of the more underrated talents coming into the National Football League that you will see. I would be more than willing to tell you, be confident and keeping an eye on this young fella because he has the potential to be a big name brand in this game. So when I look at the weapons that are coming to the table, then you talk about his backfield with J.K. Dobbins and Big Gus the Bus, as you call him, J-Mac. The balance that they have with three runners, oh, yeah, Lamar is still going to be a runner. Do not stop running, Lamar. But will he take a bigger step in the passing game? It has no choice to take a bigger step in the passing game because they will be able to call better plays in the passing game. Oh, yeah, I didn't bring up Mark Andrews, his tight end. So you're talking about another weapon that can cross the field, get into the seams, really open up the center of that defense. It is very hard to defense a team that has balance with playmakers at 3 to 4 different positions on each side of the ball. And when I say each side, I'm talking left to right, not offensive defense. So, yeah, I think that Lamar takes a big step forward because they're going to be able to open up the playbook a little bit more for him to throw the ball and be better at throwing it.
Well, that's the big question. And I do think they've improved their receiving core, and I have been calling for them to do that. I have been calling for them to bring in a top-level receiver to help Lamar because we saw what Stephon Diggs did for Josh Allen. We saw what DeAndre Hopkins did for Kyler Murray. Helped them go to another level. Now we may see that with Lamar. Sammy Watkins, I'm not saying he's DeAndre Hopkins. He's not on that level, but he is a capable receiver. So now the question is, can Lamar make those throws? All right, he's relied on the tight end. He's relied on throwing it in between the numbers. Now he's got to throw outside of the numbers to the receivers. Let's see if he can do it. I do think there'll be some improvement there. I don't know how much. I know he's got a great work ethic. We know that from the jump he made from year 1 to year 2. Last year, he regressed a little bit in the passing game. Maybe that was for other reasons. The team wasn't quite as good, but he did regress. So I want to see if he can make these throws this year. I'm going to say he can. I'm not saying he'll be an elite passer, but I do think he'll show some improvement passing the football. And you're right, LeVar, he's got to run. But I do think that's going to, I think as we go on year after year, he's going to become less and less effective as a runner. Doesn't mean he still won't be the best running quarterback we've ever seen. But I don't know that he's going to run for 1,000. All right, and maybe that's good for them. Keep it as a weapon. Maybe he gets 800, 900. I don't know if he'll get 1,000. I think it's more important for them to get more balance to that offensive attack with the passing game. And they know it. As much as that coaching staff is committed to being a run-first offense, we don't have to play like everybody else. They showed you in the offseason, we really know we have to improve. They went after Kenny Golladay, T.Y. Hilton, Juju Smith-Schuster. They wanted to give Lamar the weapons to improve the passing game. Sammy Watkins, it's somewhat of an improvement. The rookie, you said, we'll see what he can do. But the big key is, can Lamar make those throws?
Yeah. And, fun stat for the Baltimore Ravens, they attempted the fewest passes in the NFL last year. So you can see a narrative building. Hey, we went from 14-2 to 11-5. I know we had the offensive line injuries, and we had that ghastly moment in the playoffs where the center kept snapping the ball over Lamar Jackson's head. But
Lamar, man.
Did I say LeVar? Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very excited about this topic because we don't talk about the Ravens a lot. And I just want to point out some numbers. The Football Outsiders dug deep, and they said that the Baltimore Ravens attempted the third fewest passes, LeVar, as you said, outside, far right, far left. Is it they don't trust Lamar Jackson to make that throw, or they just don't want to bake it into the offense? And I wonder, because when you drill down even further and look at Lamar Jackson in the pocket, 25% of his passes went wide. That's it. Lowest number in the league. And now they add Bateman and Watkins, and then they added another kid in the draft, Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State, 4.4 burner. Kid's got some wheels. I do think they are going to go more pass heavy because, Chris, you keep mentioning that Lamar Jackson needs to keep running. I kind of wonder, are they going to pay him $40 million a year and put his life and limb at stake when he's running the ball 10, 15, 20 times a game? There is some risk there. And I just wonder, they ran the most pistol offense in the NFL last year. I think they dial that back a little bit. I think we're going to see a lot more passing from Lamar Jackson. I would not be surprised if there were some growing pains early this season, but I will point this out. Everybody and their mom loves the Cleveland Browns this year. A lot of people said, the Steelers, they started 11-0 last year. They're going to be fine. People are forgetting about the Baltimore Ravens. I got a gambling piece coming out for Fox Sports actually today. Keep an eye on the Ravens making a run, yes, to the Super Bowl. Just keep an eye on the Ravens. They're a bit of a sleeper. What do we have here?
It's time for me to put y'all up on a little bit of game. Let me put y'all up on a little bit of game. You want to be put up on a little bit of game? Here's some game. You want to know why Lamar Jackson wasn't throwing the ball very much? Because they didn't have anybody for him to throw it to. You want to know why he didn't throw the ball to the outsides? Because it's not that they didn't trust him. It's that they didn't trust what the offensive scenario created with the personnel that they had on their team. They trust Lamar Jackson to do everything. But what is it that's feasible for him to get the results that they're looking for? You got to keep in mind, he's still young. This is a young quarterback. You don't want to put him in a situation where you're forcing situations on him throwing the ball and he ends up being the scapegoat for it. Like what's the kid's name that's in New Orleans now that was down in Tampa Bay that J-Mac was just yeah, right? So you got guys like J-Mac just raining on Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston brought it on himself.
He brought it on himself, right? Okay, if you're calling plays where you're challenging Jameis Winston to try to sit those balls into those pockets and it gets picked off, that's why you have those percentages. You either choose to take the chance or you don't take the chance, okay? They did not take the chance with Lamar Jackson. It's not worth risking it with Lamar Jackson. Now you add these receivers with that tight end, and you're able to open this up. Here's some more game for you. You know where quarterbacks love throwing the ball? In the seams, in the center of the defenses, crossing across those defenses. You want to know the worst place that most quarterbacks hate throwing? Deep outs. I don't want to throw the ball deep out. It's a very nerve-wracking throw to make. Most guys do not want to make those passes in the mid-range to deep areas because it has a very high potential of getting intercepted. Go figure. So when you think about what they're doing with Lamar Jackson, they're keeping it within that 10-yard, 15 max yard radius, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. Radius. You don't want to go too far down the field and get outside of that 15, 20-yard area where he has the vision and he can ultimately either deliver the ball or pull it down and run.
Well, see,
those are the things that Lamar Jackson will be able to do more of because they're going to open the field up. There's going to be more. There's windows. There's like you break the field into 3 zones, all right? You have